Welcome and thank you for supporting my profile, and congrats to you for taking the time for investing in yourself. This LinkedIn profile masterclass is going to walk you through all of the ins and the outs of getting your profile up to scratch to allow you to have better opportunities for your career. Before we jump in, remember that this is only the start of your professional development, and your LinkedIn profile is your hook to bring attention to yourself, your skills, and of course your personal brand. Once you have the attention on yourself, then there are many other skills and strategies that you kind of need to ensure that you can close deals and land your dream job. But there's more to come on that with my new professional development course, which I'm really excited about and I'm currently working on, and I'm going to be launching it very soon. Okay, so after you complete this session, it's going to take you time to gather your dates, gather your documents, your assets, make your banners and write your profile. Have patience and set aside small chunks of time to commit to implementing what I'm going to teach you in this profile course. Remember, once you have this done, you will never have to do this again from scratch. You just keep all your information up to date, which is much less work. I'm excited to help you rock your LinkedIn profile, so stay focused and let's jump in. Okay, here we go, the Rock Your Profile session. Let's jump in. So your LinkedIn profile is your first professional impression on the LinkedIn platform, and this is going to be a how-to guide on building your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to give you all the tips and tools that you need to make your profile pop out and look really good. So LinkedIn itself is an amazing platform for connecting with other professionals, and the reason why you want to have your profile in a really good position is that most companies now really recruit through LinkedIn. They use LinkedIn's tools, they pay for services that help them find talent easier, and that's why it's really important that you have your LinkedIn profile set up for success, that you are in the best position strategically with your profile to be, viewed from these recruiters, and that when they do come on your page that they're really impressed, and that it takes you to that next step and gets you that interview and gets you connected with the right professionals and the right companies and the right jobs that you want. I have done this myself. My last 3 jobs have all been through LinkedIn. I worked at Google, and before that I worked at a production company, and now I'm currently working at LinkedIn. All of these were gotten through the LinkedIn platform, having a really good profile and knowing how to use it and knowing how to connect and build relationships with people and be consistent and just be a nice person and be someone that they want to have around, and someone that the person or recruiter feels that they need to have you on their team. So with that, let's jump in. In terms of professional development and in terms of business and sales in general, one of the most important things to remember, whether you're selling yourself, a commodity, a product or a service, whether it's on LinkedIn or not on LinkedIn, is people buy from people. So when someone lands on your LinkedIn page, they want to feel like they know the person that they're looking at, and they really have a good vibe for what that person is about professionally and even sometimes socially. Recruiters have been known to scope around and actually check out some of your social media to make sure that you are a decent person and a nice person and a person that would work well with a team and in a team environment. So as you approach the LinkedIn profile, remember that people buy from people, and that this is really important, and you want to have your profile with a friendly vibe, friendly but professional vibe from start to finish, so that whoever lands on your profile feels like they could connect with you and that they potentially want to at least speak with you and learn a little bit more about you. Okay, so your social selling index is available at http:/www.linkedin.com/sales/SSI. And basically what your social selling index is, it tells you kind of the strength of your profile and where it's at. So you can go onto your LinkedIn, log into your LinkedIn profile and type in that URL on the bottom of the screen there, and that will tell you where your profile is at. You want your profile, in and above at least 70, a little bit higher maybe, but you definitely want it above 50 for sure. It tells you the overall strength of how your profile is put together, what the text is like, and how well your kind of profile sells itself to recruiters and to other people that are visiting your profile. Don't stress out too much about this figure, but definitely have a look at it and see if it's changed from the start and from the end of this session. After you've implemented all your changes, you should see your profile selling, your social selling index go up. So that's kind of one metric of measuring your profile. But again, don't get too bogged down about it. You want your profile to read well and have all the correct information at the end of the day. That's the most important thing. So with LinkedIn, with any sort of professional development sort of situation, a lot of people sometimes don't realize that when you're going for an interview or you're trying to get a new client, you really are selling yourself. You're in the game of sales, whether it's getting a job, whether it's getting promoted at your current job, getting more leads, getting more sales, closing deals. The 4 pillars of modern selling are really important because you are now in the game of sales, whether you like it or not, unfortunately. So the 4 modern pillars of selling are basically to establish your professional brand and personal brand. I'm a big advocate of personal brand. Expanding your network, which is what we're going to do on LinkedIn. We're going to connect with people. And then, don't forget that the real world, it's important to connect and expand your network too. And that's something that I'm working on in my professional development course that I'm really excited about, and the skills I've used to tour all over the world with music, to get promoted in my job, to get the current job I have, to make more friends, traveling solo. It's really important to expand your network. Number 3, another really important aspect, and you can implement this on your profile and any social media you have and any interaction you ever have, is to always engage with value. What can you bring to somebody? What skills and services or knowledge or information or even fun, what value can you bring to somebody? People get very kind of concerned and stressed about maybe meeting somebody that's of higher value or maybe has this more senior position, feeling that they don't have any value to bring to this person and that you're, below that person mentally in your head, for example. But really, everybody has some sort of value, whether it's from making the person laugh, giving them just a good conversation, or actually educating them on maybe an area of expertise that you have. Always try and bring value to a conversation, to an engagement. It's going to elevate your status and it's going to make you feel more confident, and it's going to make you have better relationships. Number 4 is basically a combination of all the top 3, and it's to elevate your relationships. And you do that really by following steps 1, 2, and 3. And it's about connecting, expanding your network and engaging with value, so that the relationships that you do make from steps 1, 2, 3, these can then be elevated because you're constantly working on steps 1, 2, and 3, and that's going to help step 4 elevate your current relationships and give and add more value to your current relationships. Just to give you an example, I often reach out to recruiters that are at companies that I really like, that I reach out to and have become friends, or nearly half friends, I guess, or whatever way you would like to describe it, through LinkedIn, professional contacts, I guess. And I would constantly reach out to these people and just have a chat with them because I've become friends with some of them, and I invite them into the office. And it's the same for any other professionals at other companies that I am inspired by, that I really would love to work for maybe someday. I'm constantly trying to add value and kind of bring value to people I meet, and whether it's taking them out for a coffee or bringing them into the LinkedIn building, or whether it's telling them about a gig or seeing who won a hurling match, because one of the recruiters was from Limerick, which is it's a hurling team in Ireland, which is a very popular sport. I'm constantly trying to elevate my relationships, and these are the 4 main pillars of modern selling that you really need to be aware of in terms of setting yourself up professionally and scaling yourself up to be at a higher level than other people who may not be aware of these 4 pillars of modern selling. A lot of people think LinkedIn is just for jobs. Now, that is the main focus of LinkedIn. It's connecting people with opportunities. Having said that, there has been new creator tools that have been rolled out, and a creator mode which you can turn on your profile. Now, what this creator mode does, it activates your profile in a different way, where you can add in keywords that kind of signify and push you in the algorithm, depending on what these 5 keywords are, key subjects are that you add to your profile. It also gives you access to amazing tools such as LinkedIn Live, which is the ability to stream on LinkedIn and essentially stream to your entire professional network. It also gives you access to audio events, which essentially is the same as Twitter Spaces. And again, this is such an amazing way for you to become a thought leader, for you to be able to connect with people and start conversations in your audio events, very, very similar to Twitter Spaces, where you can just set it up and it's an audio event, an audio chat function on the LinkedIn platform. It's an amazing way to start conversations, and then also through newsletters. But make sure you have creator mode turned on your profile, especially if you're going to be pumping out videos, you're going to be pumping out newsletters and articles. This will pop up. The creator mode will pop you into the algorithm differently, and it will prioritize some of your content over maybe other individuals who do not have creator mode on. And of course, it gives you access to these amazing tools to stream, to do audio networks, to do audio events, and of course to publish content. Really important. So we're going to use a 10-step process to success, and you're going to add in each section of your profile as we go through this session. So to add a section of your profile, you click on the add profile section on your profile, and this will allow you to edit your profile as you go. Now we're going to go from top to bottom, So really, you're just going to be following the pencil edit buttons, and you're going to be clicking on this as you scroll down to insert and edit all the correct information. And it's going to be very, very straightforward, hopefully. If you're not super computer illiterate, just take it slow and have patience and move through your profile. Even a section a day after you've completed the course, you can go back and watch this session again. So let's jump in. We're going to jump into section 1. So just before we jump into section 1, we're going to be using keywords and buzzwords scattered throughout the profile. So it's really important that when you're constructing your profile that you use these keywords and buzzwords. Now, a keyword is used to describe skills, services that are relevant to your section. So for example, if we're to pick, I like blockchain. So if we're to pick blockchain, my keywords would be Web3, minting, encrypting, payment processing, tokenomics, all these words that are used to describe skills and services within blockchain. Now, buzzwords are words that kind of add personality to your profile. So example, I am a very driven, passionate, ambitious, data-driven individual, for example. These are some of the buzzwords that you want to get into your profile, but we don't want to overdo them either. You don't want to have them scattered all over the place and absolutely using them to hell. You want to just get them in the main section, maybe in your headline elevator pitch, which we'll get to, and then in your bio. These are the main areas where you want to be using keywords and buzzwords, but you will use some of your keywords obviously as you move through some of your work experience and filling that section out. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the LinkedIn profile picture. You'd be surprised how many LinkedIn profiles out there do not have pictures or have really bad pictures, because what you want to have is a really clear, professional, warm smile, welcoming people onto your page, which aligns with your professional brand. So if you do not have a profile picture, the best recommendation I can say is to take your smartphone and align yourself up with really, really good light. I stand close to a window where the sun is shining in and have the phone facing the lens of the phone in the same direction as where the sun is coming in. So the sun is lighting your face and the camera is then you're not shooting into the sun. That will not help, that will make it look worse. So you want to have a nice professional picture that has good lighting. Ideally, if you did have some sort of ring light, that would be super as well. You want to be smiling and have it from the kind of chest up, shoulders up, and you want it to be very, very simple. So a transparent white background is generally speaking what LinkedIn recommend to have for your LinkedIn profile. If you do have budget and you would like to get a professional headshot, I would highly recommend this. This is going to be very, very valuable for websites, for social media, for every other aspect, not just your LinkedIn profile. It's a fantastic investment. So make sure your LinkedIn profile is clear. It's on a transparent background. You can use the tool called Canva, canva.com, where you can actually take a really good picture, and if the background's not nice, you can actually edit. Just very simply click on edit picture and remove the background. Very, very simplified version of Photoshop. Canva.com, I highly recommend setting up an account. You can set up an account for free, and it's great for your profile pictures, for your banners, and actually making some content for your LinkedIn profile. I use it all the time. So step number 2 is to use Canva to add a banner onto your LinkedIn profile. Getting a banner onto your LinkedIn profile is going to make you stand out. It's going to highlight your brand. You have an opportunity to put your colors in there, your logos, your fonts, and have everything aligned. You can also add in call to actions, which is, feel free to connect or connect with me for a chat. Call to action items like this, you can add them onto your LinkedIn profile banner. It's an amazing way to instantly, straight away when someone lands on your LinkedIn profile, make you stand out, because the generic LinkedIn banner that everybody gets is not there, and they will see whether it's your brand colors or just a well-designed LinkedIn banner, it will make you stand out. Edit your LinkedIn banner. What I would recommend, my favorite tool, go over to canva.com, basically a simplified version of Photoshop, as I mentioned in the previous section, and you can go in there and there's canvas templates for you to actually go in and edit your LinkedIn profile banner. Now, if you cannot find the templates for the LinkedIn profile banner, you can do a custom size, and the correct dimensions for this LinkedIn banner are 1584 by 396 pixels. So you can go in there and make your profile banner, get a nice professional picture up there. If you have a logo, make sure your logo is on it, and make sure if you're a company, you have your branded company colors, company fonts on your LinkedIn banner. Again, your LinkedIn banner and your LinkedIn profile, these are the first two things that will pop out for any professional or recruiter or potential sales client to see about your professional brand and decide instantly from their first impression whether they're going to take you kind of seriously or very seriously. So I would really highly recommend adding your professional banner onto your LinkedIn profile, your profile picture and your banner. Once you have that done, your profile already looks amazing. So section number 3, adding your headline. This is something that is tricky and at the same time fun to create. It's essentially your one-line elevator pitch that appears on the feed. It appears along with your LinkedIn profile picture underneath other people when you appear on the LinkedIn profile. So when you're scrolling through a LinkedIn feed, you might see suggested connections on the side. This is what they will see. They will see your picture and your one-line elevator pitch. That is really important to get right. So essentially the way we recommend you connect and write your elevator pitch is helping, let's say, professionals, in my case, unlock the power of video production. Because that's what I do in my day-to-day job at LinkedIn. I work and manage the LinkedIn media productions team, which is basically we make content and live streaming. So there's interesting ways to kind of write your elevator pitch. You can use, keywords and buzzwords, but mainly you want to focus on 3 relevant keywords. So for example, if you worked in corporate finance, you could say helping young professionals unlock the power of financial freedom, or whatever it may be. You can use 3 keywords and then write it really, really well, that it kind of presents and kind of entices people curious, makes people curious that they want to come and check out your profile. So another one-line elevator pitch I use myself, because I'm very interested in Web3 and NFT and cryptocurrency, was helping professionals unlock the power of Web3 and crypto. So again, it sounds more interesting than just putting down crypto trader, or for the video production one, video production manager. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more enticing, and shop around, check other people's profiles to see something that maybe resonates with you, that you might like to maybe paraphrase or steal little parts of it from and make something your own. Add in 3 key relevant keywords, and also at the end, add in a call to action. So what I always recommend is adding in happy to chat or let's connect. It's a good call to action that you're enticing people into your profile. Again, the main goal here is to bring people into your profile and to connect with them and make yourself open to as many opportunities as humanly possible. So that is the elevator pitch. Really important to have a nice snappy elevator pitch. Shop around, check out my elevator pitch, check out the formatting. Really important to get this one right, and once you get it right, you'll probably end up playing with it. It's a fun one. Section 4 is to update your industry. So again, when you go onto your LinkedIn profile, you go up to the top pencil here. This is how you edit across all the different sections. Hit the edit up button and scroll down to where you see the industry. Now it might sound kind of basic, but industry members receive 9 times more views than if you don't have your industry put in. So make sure you go to your LinkedIn profile, you populate the industry, and make sure that the correct industry is in there that you're trying to focus on. So as you can see, myself working in media productions is where my focus is on right now in terms of my LinkedIn profile. My Instagram obviously is very different. It's more on professional development. But as you can see on the LinkedIn profile, I probably will transition this across maybe someday. But for now, I'm going to leave it as media productions because I currently work in LinkedIn. The dream is to have my own side business scale and grow, which I need you to help me with, and maybe get some more friends and family to check out my profile. But for now, LinkedIn, media productions, and media production is my industry. Make sure you have the industry filled out. Step 5, make sure you update your location. Members who use their location are much more likely to find opportunities. Again, hit the pencil button, scroll down. It's in the same section. Scroll down and make sure you fill in your location, because if you are a recruiter, or if a recruiter is looking at your profile and you have the wrong location and that recruiter is targeting specific hires for specific regions and your region is not correct to where they're looking for, you will not be on their radar and you will not show up in their filters. They use tools, LinkedIn sales tools and recruiting tools to actually narrow down talent. And if your information and your location is wrong and your industry is wrong, you are already on the back foot and there's already going to be other people ahead of you in terms of the ranking and the algorithm and the filters that recruiters use. So make sure you update your location to where you are currently, where you are working currently. Okay, we're on to the bio section. This is a tricky. This is your brand story. It's really, really important that this reads well. So off the bat, always write your bio in your first person. I see a lot of third person written bios which do not read good, and this is not what we recommend. So as you can see, include call to actions, include contact information, and use keywords and buzzwords. So let's break down the bio section into our 5 different pieces. So we want to always open our bio with a welcome. So hi, thanks for visiting my profile. Welcoming people onto your platform in a professional manner. Again, you're trying to build that people buy from people mentality, that you want them to connect with you, even if it's digitally across reading a bio. This is super important. Next, you want to add a bit of credibility. So as you can see from mine, hi, my name is Steve. Coming from a small town, never thought I'd be able to digest and have a career in IT and technology. Over the past 10 years, I've worked a lot on my personal coaching and blah, 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 blah. Now I'm working for LinkedIn and Google, so you're adding the credibility there, you're adding the story. Then you want to give a little bit on your current role, what you're currently doing. Then you want to move down and have a little bit of call to action. Again, I really want to emphasize the call to action across your profile, because you want connectors, you want opportunities to feel comfortable and inspired and encouraged to connect with you and, really reach out and maybe have a conversation with you. I've had a lot of recruiters reach out to me, and getting recruiters reaching out to you is always a good thing. A lot of people get a little bit kind of frustrated sometimes with inbox messages from recruiters, but getting inbox messages from recruiters is the dream, because you are being presented opportunities, and that is always good to have in life. You never know what's around the corner. So having call to actions, having recruiters and potential companies reaching out to speak with you is a good thing. So I always recommend and encourage having call to actions. So send me a personalized invitation to find out more, as you can see. And then I've listed in some subjects and in things that I like to talk about. So whether it's LinkedIn or NFTs or crypto or personal finance or music. And I've included some of my personal email address information so that person can contact me. And then of course my social media link. A little pro tip then for the bottom of your bio section is to include your keywords. So this is really just keywords that are going to try and trigger the algorithm, really, I guess, to kind of put your profile up to the top ranks. And we're really just working the LinkedIn algorithm here. So I have here things I love chatting about, and then I have all my keywords. So NFTs, I have blockchain, I have social media marketing strategy, I have video content techniques, I have investing, making money online, passive income. So, and of course, being Irish at the end. So these are all keywords that I just pop in here, a pro tip for the end of the bio section. This is going to help you rank a little bit better. And we just throw everything that we possibly can at the algorithm to make it our friend. And that is a pro tip. So that is the bio section. Not super complicated, but when you have this format nicely broken down with your welcome, your credibility, your current role, your call to action, and your keywords, this reads well, it's smooth, it transitions from each paragraph into the next, and it will come across very professional. And again, that's what we're trying to do here. People buy from people. You want yourself to come across professional and have the opportunity to connect with other people. So that's the writing your bio section, telling your brand story. Adding work experience, section 7. This is obviously one of the big ones for your LinkedIn profile. So when you're adding your experience, what we recommend to use is use the STAR method when filling out your brief bio or little paragraph describing what it is you did in what position. So the STAR method is basically situation, task, action, result. So if you could essentially get these 4 strategic situations into your description of your paragraph, it really helps paint the picture of what your job is and what you've done. So for example, you could have, my situation was I was working previously in Google for myself, coming to LinkedIn. My situation was I currently worked in Google. The task I had was I wanted to maybe upskill myself personally, so I decided to move across to LinkedIn. I saw an opportunity. I took action there by reaching out to a recruiter, and the result was I got the job. So something like this, but maybe in your profession on your LinkedIn experience. Ensure that your branding is on point. Use bullet points. And one pro tip, sneaky tip even, is in terms of if you're confused of what to put in your bullet points, especially maybe if you're a little bit younger, what I recommend is to search the job title that you are putting in for yourself in the LinkedIn profile and look at some other people's profile descriptions. And feel free to go ahead and paraphrase maybe some of the descriptions that other people maybe in your team have, or other people in different companies that are working in the same job, that have descriptions that are doing the same role as you essentially, feel free to borrow and get inspired by some other descriptions. I mean, sometimes it's very difficult to actually write down, oh, what's my actual experience? What do I do on a day-to-day basis? Maybe in layman's terms, in simple terms, but maybe you're just missing that flowery language that you'd like to get into the profile. So what you can do there is just, shop around, look at some other profiles, and look at some other people's profiles. Another really good way of filling in your experience is if you check out job descriptions for the role you're currently in. This is like a secret weapon in terms of really getting the lingo down and nearly matching some of the description in your LinkedIn profile to some of the job descriptions that are out there. Again, you're working that algorithm, and those job descriptions that are written by recruiters and companies, that's exactly what they're looking for. So I'm not saying copy that exactly, but I'm saying take inspiration from some job descriptions, especially if it's the same job you're already doing. You can take this information and paraphrase it a little bit and drop it into your profile, and it's really going to make your description and your work experience pop out. That is my pro tip, but obviously don't plagiarize and steal and copy and paste. Use your brain, make sure it's paragraphed and written nicely and is relatable to you. Such an important area, section 7, add media. So if you are a content creator, if you have other articles written, if you have content on YouTube or you have social media links on TikTok, this is the place. So many professionals I see who have side hustles or have large followings on other social media platforms and content, they do not have any of this rich media on their LinkedIn profile. We're talking YouTube links, videos, photos, website links. This is the featured section here on the LinkedIn profile. Again, hit that edit pencil, go up there and pop in all your links. This is so underused, and it's such an amazing opportunity to make your profile stand out. In my professional development course, I go really into understanding how to get your USP, your unique selling position, and how to actually go ahead and build a personal brand, how to make content, and add that and put it into your profile, which makes your professional brand and your personal brand stand out so much more, especially if you're trying to potentially get a new job or trying to get promoted. That's all of my new course coming out that I'll be releasing soon, which I'm very excited about, but it won't be free. But anyway, getting back to rich media, it's really important to get any content that you make outside of your 9 to 5 or any content you've done with your current company, get those links in there, get it visible. You're painting the picture, you're making yourself more interesting, you're making your social value go up, your professional value go up. Add your social media and add your links in here. Obviously, if your social media is like half-dressed pictures and maybe a load of your ass or whatever, don't put that in. But if from a professional brand perspective, if you have a company or something like this, get that in there. It's really important. Add your skills, section 8. This is so important, and so many people do not do this. They do the bio, they do the picture, and that's it. Add the experience, and then that's it. Add your skills, everybody. This is an amazing way to trigger the algorithm, and also recruiters filter through skills. Recruiters filter through skills. People searching for candidates, whether they're bosses of a team, filter through skills. Add industry specific skills and links to skills to work experience and feature them. Pro tip, okay, I'm giving you the goal here. Once they are added, make sure you go to edit and arrange your skills. So you now have the function when you add all your skills and you can feature your top 5 or your top 10. I think it's your top 5. So your top 5 skills feature. So if you want people to focus on specific skills on your LinkedIn profile or get picked out from the algorithm or the recruiting tools or the filters specifically on skills, make sure that they are dragged to the top and that they're in sequential order of how you feel these skills are important. So this is really important. Don't just add the skills, also make sure that they are arranged and featured in order of importance on your LinkedIn profile. Super pro tip and really important to do. Section 9, recommendations. One of the most underused, but one of the most powerful sections of LinkedIn. This is one of my favorite sections, your recommendations. Make sure you reach out to for recommendations from bosses, teammates, clients, whoever. Make sure you reach out and get them. This is your professional social proof. This is what's going to solidify you for recruiters. This is what's going to solidify you for clients. This is what's going to solidify you for other people within your organization who don't know too much about you, but when they come check your profile, they read all these amazing reviews. And these are reviews that are from professionals, other professionals on the platform. The days of written reviews are really gone. It's recommendations. So one tip I always have for when you reach out for a recommendation is essentially you're asking for somebody to take time out of their day to write something nice about you, hopefully. So hopefully it's nice. So one pro tip in terms of when you're asking for a recommendation is, especially if it's somebody you have not worked with in quite a while, is to reach out and say, hey, I would really, really appreciate it if you could give me a recommendation and focus on these 3 areas. Bang, bang, bang. And you list the 3 areas. So you're making it as simple as possible for this person to give you a good recommendation. Sometimes people respond and say, could you be even a little bit more specific? And what that means is I'm a little bit too lazy to really go through and do this because I have to feed the dog, I have to go to football training with the kids, I have to do the shopping, blah, blah, blah. So in that situation, you could nearly write a mini paragraph, paraphrase it, and request them to, check out the paragraph and just put it in their own words. And again, it's a good opportunity for you to highlight what you want them to focus on. Again, painting your best professional self with your LinkedIn profile, painting that people buy from people, painting that mentality that you're someone that the recruiter or the company or your boss needs on their team. And this is how you do it through recommendations and social proof. I mean, this is so powerful, everybody. This tool is so powerful to have professional recommendations written from really high achieving other professionals. There's nowhere else you can really get this as documented and as professional as on this LinkedIn recommendation section, where not only can you read the recommendations, but you can also go and check out the person who gave you that recommendation. And if that's a very high value, high achieving professional, all the better for you, and it says the story about your professionalism to a whole new level, and people will want you on their team. Recruiters will want you in their books. They'll want to stay in contact with you. Make sure your recommendations are done and you have as many as possible. And don't forget to give some recommendations to other people too. This is really important, Make sure you not just take, you're giving your value back and you're also giving other people recommendations. Okay, so stay with me. We're almost finished. We're almost coming to the end of the LinkedIn Rock Your Profile session. There is so much more, by the way, on LinkedIn and how to use it. And this is also going to be little subsections of my course on social media itself, not just LinkedIn. But before we finish, there are the accomplishments section, the background section, and the interest section on LinkedIn. So make sure you fill out any accomplishments, items such as awards, languages, publications, video articles, and articles. These all go in the accomplishment sections. In terms of background, you can add in your certifications, your licenses, your education and volunteer work. Interests, you can also add in your schools, hobbies, follow companies, follow influencers. It's really important to follow companies and influencers. There's so much that can do for you in terms of opportunities that come up, but I do go into some more of that on my new course that's coming out, so I can't be giving away all my secrets, but I'm really, really happy that this hopefully is going to add value to you. But basically, make sure you fill in all these 3 sections. We're almost finished. It's going to take you a while to do all this work and get all this data and information correctly and get your buzzwords and keywords in. So just have patience, follow the process, and stick to small chunks each day, or else set aside a whole day and just knock all this out. But make sure you have your accomplishments, your background, and your interests up to date on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, and that's a wrap. That is the 10-step formula to make your LinkedIn profile pop and up to a professional level. So as I mentioned, it's going to take time. Be patient, go back, review, get all your dates right, work on your bio, work on your elevator pitch, work on your Canvas skills, and get the banner and the profile picture up to scratch and looking professional. One thing I want to say before we finish is there's lots of other ways to use LinkedIn, and there's lots of tips and tricks that come up all the time at LinkedIn. So make sure you're following my LinkedIn profile for all those updates. Another aspect is, I touched on it at the very, very start, is, this is just the first step. Getting your LinkedIn profile in order is one step of many in terms of getting to the next level, and whether it's you want to get promoted or whether you want to get a new job, you want to get, more income, you want to get better at personal finance, whatever it may be. This is something that is just the first step, but a very important step. And once you do this step, you will feel so much more positive because you will have all the information now in your head that you've written down on your LinkedIn profile, and it's going to be a one-stop shop for any situation, whether you're going to meet a new client or meet a new professional prospect, you know, and you want to get your language and your information correct. You just open your LinkedIn profile, it's all there, have everything off the top of your head, ready to go for when you meet that person. So I'm very excited, and I'm going to give a quick shout out to my new course. I have the table of contents down here. I don't want to show you just yet. I want to be a little bit of a surprise, but I'm going to give you a flavor for what's going to be coming up. So the LinkedIn profile really, as I mentioned, is the first step to getting your professional development and getting maybe your personal finance and your life goals and life plan in order. I know for me, it took years to kind of figure out where exactly I wanted to go and how I'm going to get there. Now I'm still figuring that out, but I have my path, and I have learned so much over the last 10 years working in technology companies, from Google to LinkedIn. You know, I started off in SuperValue, a small little shopping center, and I went right from SuperValue serving fish to making, you know, live broadcasts and video productions to millions of people. And, you know, I've had other side hustles, investment opportunities, and investment companies I'm working with too as startups. And I've learned so much from the SuperValue, which was hard work, physical hard work, right up to kind of mental preparation and professional development to get you and have the right information to take a step by step. You know, and one big part of my course is really, you know, there's 4 different modules which I'm very excited, which are subject to change and move a little bit as I move through it, but they're almost locked. So it's mindset and USP, understanding your unique selling position. Obviously, mindset is so important. You cannot do anything if your mindset's not in the right place and trained and focused on what you want to achieve. Then my module 2 is personal brand, and you know, personal brand is just so important. I'm really passionate about this because I saw when the pandemic hit, I saw so many companies, and we're seeing it now as well, letting go of staff. And once you get let go of a company, you know, it's a very scary position if like that's all you have. You know, at least if you're building a professional brand, you could have a side hustle on the side that, let's say for argument's sake, you know, we don't want this to ever happen to anyone, but you do get let go, that you're not on the floor with scratch with nothing, that you have your own brand that potentially could be taking in some income on the side, or potentially could become a full-time gig. You just don't know. Module 3 then is social dynamics, and that is kind of social skills that I have used to help me play in the Olympia Theatre and tour all over the world with different musicians, you know, get my dream job, travel on my own, build friends, build connection. It's social skills, it's body language, it's how to read rooms, it's understanding micro expressions, it's how to navigate conversations and how to lead a conversation and how to have a good conversation and make sure you never run out of things to say. So really it's about building confidence. And this is something that I wish I learned earlier in life, that I'm still working on every single day, but becoming more confident is a superpower really in terms of being able to set goals and have the confidence to be able to achieve them. I'm not talking about being cocky or being, you know, an asshole, I guess, confident, overconfident. I'm talking about being professionally confident in areas such as your mindset, your unique selling position, knowing who you are and knowing your value, having a personal brand, having something that you own yourself, that is you, that is, the brand is you, that when people think of X service, they don't think of the service, they think of you. Social dynamics, being able to walk into a room or a space, whether it's in a hostel in Greece or whether it's an executive room full of CEOs, to be able to connect and know how to connect well. And then my 4th module is personal finance. So once you have steps 1 to 4 down and you have your good job, you have your income, personal finance tips that I really wish I knew when I was younger. I'm talking 3 years ago, I wish I knew, that I've completely changed my life, and I've changed my financial plan, and I've changed how much money, to be honest, I'm earning and how much potential money I'm going to be earning on top of my salary. So, you know, understanding inflation, recessions, tax, having an investment saving strategy plan that I'm using, that I've been taught from my life coaches and professional development coaches, understanding cryptocurrency, stocks, basically having the fundamentals of personal finance and how to kind of use your money. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This will be for educational purposes only, of course, but it will be my plan and I will be sharing that in the course. So that's it. Thank you for watching the LinkedIn Rock Your Profile session. I hope it added value, and please, if you know somebody else that is interested in this area of maybe professional development, personal finance, social dynamics, and will be interested in my course, or will be interested in the free LinkedIn Rock Your Profile course, do not share this link. Please have them follow the steps to get access to this link by following my page. I'll put the instructions out, but it'll be follow my page and tag 2 or 3 friends in a post. So that is going to be the requirement. Please do not share this link. If this link, I find out this link is being shared around, I will change the link completely, because it's only fair for the work that's gone in. I'm really trying to build my brand and reach as many people as I can. I really would love your help, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for watching this. I hope you got some great value from it. Stay tuned for my professional development course. It's going to be coming out as soon as I can get. There's so much work that goes into it, but as soon as it's ready, it will be out. It'll be very fairly priced for the value that's going to be in it. It's potentially going to change your life. It has changed my life. I learn from the best. I spend hours of research, day in, day out. I work with people that are much smarter than me, that have taught me a lot of these principles. So the value in here is going to be amazing. So thank you, and I will see you on Instagram, and stay tuned for more videos and content for free as always on my Instagram channel.